state of Alabama is having some tough economic times. And instead of sitting around and waiting, State Senator Paul Sanford decided that he would take bold action. So what did he do? He set up a GoFundMe account. Oh. Now on his page, the senator writes, "The state of Alabama is experiencing tight financial times and needs your help. Legislators are debating possible financial solutions, but are finding that raising taxes are not wanted by the citizens of Alabama." Now, that's an important point. I'm going to get to why. Rather than have the government come after your hard-earned money, you can now send an amount that fits your budget. Even request where your money be used. You can determine what functions of government are a priority to you. Great, it's government a la carte. That works out. That's going to work out great. So I'm betting now that some uber-rich patriots are going to step in to help, right? I mean, conservatives always tell us that if you eliminate taxes, stop forcing people to pay, they're just going to pay of their own volition, right? They're just going to really give that government, that money to the government because that's what they want to do, right? Well, here's their chance. It's a perfect opportunity for them to put their money where their mouth is, almost literally. After all, I mean, they get to choose where it goes, right? So, okay. So out of the $300 million that Senator Sanford is asking for to help fund the Alabama government, how much did they raise? How much did these patriots front? About $500. Oh, no. Oh, no. $500. Oh, that seems kind of strange. It seems like nobody's donating to Alabama. That's really strange. Now, of those who did donate, or at least who found the page, they left some choice comments. Let's read some of these. User by the name of Tiger Lily says, "I see GoFundMe and other crowdsourcing requests. They're usually for disabled children or adults to cover moving, transportation, or medical expenses. Sometimes people will be asking for help with a funeral, a new invention, or a short film. The state of Alabama has already taken 30 years of taxes from my paychecks, including 10 years of an unconstitutional occupational tax. Therefore, I will not be donating to them. After all, I will still probably be denied access to health care or Planned Parenthood as a low-income woman. Since the legislature doesn't want to do their jobs, legalize cannabis and or gambling, or find any other answer, they should design a logo that says, 'My state is backwards,' for a Teespring campaign. That way the donors could at least say they got a lousy t-shirt." I love these. There are more. Katara Martin says, "Don't like seeing your state government begging for money in a site created for people in real need? Next year, vote Democratic." Well played. Sam Jones left a comment, "If only there was a way to get everyone to pitch in a little bit. Like everyone gives a small portion of their own money to improve the city and state. Fix potholes, fund the fire department, pay for textbooks." You see where I'm going? The money people give would go directly back to their community. I think it's pretty clever. What could we call it? That's my favorite. There's nothing better than a little bit of snark. Now, just recently, the Alabama Senate, right, has narrowly approved a budget that, guess what? Guess what they did? They slashed the budget. They slashed millions of dollars from Medicaid, mental health, law enforcement, and other state agencies. Well, guess what? They kept taxes low on corporations. Of course. Now, according to the study released at the beginning of the year, the Institute on Taxation and Policy pegged Alabama as the 12th most unfair state. Why? Because of their regressive tax system. Now, that was changed. Now they're number 10. Oh, wow. But it's not because Alabama actually did something to change. No, it's because other states got worse. For example, Kansas. You know the segment I always do. What's the matter with Kansas? Well, now they're worse than Alabama. Way to go, Brownback. Way to go. Well played. Now, why are they the most unfair state? Well, I mentioned regressive taxes, right? Well, poor people. Turns out poor people in Alabama pay 1.5 times more in state and local taxes than the richest people in Alabama. 1.5 more times. I thought the poor were supposed to pay less because they're poor. No, apparently they have to hold the entire state of Alabama on their back with their limited amount of money. So, the rich in Alabama can do better. Oh, great. Now, these legislatures also blame Medicaid for their budget shortfall. But that's funny because they haven't accepted the Medicaid expansion that would have actually vastly reduced state spending on poor people in Alabama that actually need health care. These guys are idiots. That is so incredibly stupid what they're doing. That's not just shooting yourself in the foot. That is shooting every low-income person in Alabama in the foot. And also, well, they're not going to be able to get health care afterwards in order to fix that. This is conservative economics in a nutshell. Trickle-down bullshit. Economics doesn't do anything but let the rich pay less at the expense of the poor. Now, Paul L. Sanford, Senator Sanford, he did have something to say on this. He says, I do appreciate the comments, but please realize this was to prove a point that most people do not want to pay more taxes, but are for taxes when the other guy is to be taxed. Well, when you're already getting your ass drowned in taxes, but you see Mr. Rich Guy paying less than you, yeah, you're going to want to favor taxes on that asshole over there. No shit. Senator Sanford continues. Also, even the few donations that have been received reflect our ability to budget state functions. Earmarked for education, a rate of 8-2, education to other government services. It's easy to get support for education, but not so easy for the remaining roles of government. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's so stupid. It's so stupid it hurts. Look, that's the thing, Senator. You already tax the poor and the middle class at almost twice the rate of the rich. Of course they don't want to pay more. And they shouldn't have to. Look, the wealthy need to be forced. Yes, forced. I said it. Forced to pay their fair share. That's if they want to at least do business in Alabama and actually get access to that customer base, as well as access to roads, infrastructure, etc., etc. They should pay to play. Instead, you're forcing the poorest people in Alabama to pay for that. That's bullshit. I am so tired of seeing poor people intentionally saddled with higher tax burdens than the rich. And then seeing greasy politicians say stupid shit. Like, well, most people don't want to pay taxes. No shit, asshole. And then, instead of raising taxes on those who can actually afford to pay their fair share, you instead cut essential services like Medicaid and food stamps. You know, things that would actually help the amount of poor people that are actually paying the majority of taxes in your state. Look, man, calling this guy and these guys in Alabama greasy douchebag politicians doesn't even come close to covering the utter disgust that I have for the entire Alabama State Congress. At least to the Republicans. You guys are a fucking joke. But hey, man, you keep voting for fiscally, quote-unquote, conservative politicians, and this is the kind of bullshit, shitty government that you should come to expect.